Territorial defense is a system of nationwide military and special measures aimed at protecting the land, maintaining public safety, and countering threats in specific regions. Alongside the resistance movement and the system of preparing citizens for the national resistance, territorial defense is one of the three key components of this system. Its activities are regulated by the law on the foundations of national resistance, which came into force on January 1, 2022. Territorial defense has a number of unique features that distinguished it from other military formations. First and foremost, it is closely connected with local communities and territories, because territorial defense is a holistic mechanism that brings together civil society, local government authorities, and military units, namely the Territorial Defense Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The tasks of the Territorial Defense Forces are determined by Part 3 of Article 3 of the Law of Ukraine on the foundations of national resistance, among which are the defense of the territory and protection of the population, participation in preparing Ukrainian citizens for national resistance, participation in reinforcement of protection and defense of the state border, participation in the protection and defense of important facilities and communications, and participation in combating against the armed formations of the aggressor. The formation of the modern territorial defense system began back in 2014 after the Russian annexation of Crimea. At that time, the first territorial defense battalions became part of the Ukrainian ground forces. In 2020, within the Land Forces Command, a Territorial Defense Command was created. In winter 2021-2022, 4 regional administrations with support units were formed. On January 1, 2022, the law on the foundations of national resistance came into force, according to which the Territorial Defense Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine were established and their missions were defined. Formation of units was scheduled to finish by February 15, 2022, just a week before Russia's treacherous invasion. With the start of the Russian full-scale invasion, territorial defense became one of the key elements of Ukraine's defense.
Подивіться, русські солдати. Подивіться, що з вами буде, якщо ви прийдете на нашу землю.
Within the first month, more than 110,000 volunteers of all professions and ages joined. This allowed rapid formation of combat-capable units that played a decisive role in defending many cities and towns. A key factor was the motivation of fighters who stood to defend their own homes alongside neighbors, knew the terrain and local infrastructure intimately.
Так от буває, коли приходиш на українську землю.
The ability to form effective battalions and brigades within days and employ them successfully is unique in 21st century Europe. The role of territorial defense in defending Kyiv and liberating northern regions was crucial, alongside the land forces, air assault forces, and others.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
By securing rare areas, territorial defense units enabled regular units to focus on the most threatened directions. From 2023, territorial defense greatly expanded its capabilities. It gained mechanized units, aerial reconnaissance, UAV detachments, and artillery crews. Mobile air defense groups, both with TDF brigades and local volunteer formations, proved effective.
Yes!
Small aviation is now used as well. TDF training centers also prepare nearly all levels of commanders and even specialists for other branches of the armed forces. Special focus goes to unmanned aerial vehicle pilots, electronic warfare operators, and sapper training. Territorial Defense Forces recruitment centers in Ukrainian cities offer a wide range of vacancies to those who want to join the armed forces under a contract. Among others, there is an 1824 program for young Ukrainians. Today, Territorial Defense Forces units continue operating on the toughest sectors of the front, protecting southern and eastern Ukraine and guarding the northern borders. Their combat experience has drawn global attention, confirming the effectiveness of the territorial defense concept as an important element of national resistance. The territorial defense patch, a bell-mounted wall, symbolizes protecting one's home, native region and homeland. In the past, militias would gather at fortifications to repel invaders. That wall still means defending one's territory. And today, for every territorial defense fighter and every Ukrainian, that territory is Ukraine. From Polisia to Crimea, from the Carpathians to Donbass. Territorial defense is the salt of the earth. A territorial defender is a worthy heir of ancestral land. And each TDF member understands who is he. I kill everyone who walks through the blood of my people. Their tears is my rage. Their hope is my power. I bring redemption to Ukrainians and death to enemies. I am a territorial defense force warrior. I am a force that protects Ukraine.